Hey, it's Stephanie Richardson. I want to share with you some thoughts on we grow through what we go through. So, this past year has been emotionally draining because of COVID. And I'm sure you're just tired. I want you to think back a year ago. What emotions were going through your head at this time last year? Fear, anger, anxiety. Do you remember seeing the grocery store aisles completely stripped and wondering if you were going to be able to get food or even toilet paper? You may have experienced fear about whether or not your business was going to survive, and if you were even going to have a paycheck, or how you would provide for your family. You may have had to work from home for the first time. You may have had to homeschool your children for the first time and learn how to balance meeting their school needs, all the while meeting the needs of working and being at home. You may have felt angry about it and isolated because of COVID. Many of us have endured significant hardships during this past year that would have been difficult enough to handle without COVID on top of it. But COVID just made the pain more intense. Normally, when you experience challenges, what do you do to make yourself feel better? Well, you go visit a friend or a family member and get a hug from them. You go on vacation to decompress and relax. You go out to eat, or you go to a movie to just escape for a little while. And we couldn't use any of those coping mechanisms that we normally used. All we got was isolation and grief. Grieving what was, how it used to be, and grieving through the challenges. However, I want to encourage you to not lose hope. With hope, you can do anything. And your attitude of hope is going to trickle down and affect your family when you face challenges. Your attitude of hope will affect your team when you face challenges. And you can be an example to your family and to your team of how to be resilient in the midst of challenges. We can't forget the pain. The pain is part of our story. It's part of our journey. You grow through what you go through. The memories of the difficulties and the suffering that we have experienced have grown us, have changed us, and have made us stronger. We can look at challenges or difficult or bad circumstances by moping around and letting the hurt feed on us, or we can look at them as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to grow. The choice you make is a testament to the life you live. You can either let these situations destroy you or mold you. It's a decision that defines who you become. Everything that is hurting you is also healing you. Everything that's burdening you is also teaching you. How you view things is how you do things. Haven't you noticed that two people can experience the same adversity with totally different responses? Einstein said, "In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity." And the famous Lucy from the Peanuts cartoon says, "I don't want the ups and downs, just the ups and ups." Every adversity comes with the seed for a greater benefit. Think about how you will use the adversity in your life to help other people. You are capable of more than you know. Storms eventually pass, right? So we've only finished the first quarter of the year, and you have the chance to make some behavioral and mindset changes for the rest of the year. Maybe you had some really good intentions with your business that you didn't follow through on last quarter. Well, it's a new quarter, right? We can't go back and change the past, but we can change our actions to bring different results in the future. There are two things that you have control over to make changes for the rest of the year, and they are belief and actions. You control whether you think you can or you can't. Your mind is like a computer. It believes what you tell it every day. You can feed it positive or negative thoughts. Both faith and fear believe in a future that hasn't happened yet. I'm going to say that again. Both faith and fear believe in a future that hasn't happened yet. Feed your faith and starve your fear. We wouldn't dream of telling our children or our friends the negative thoughts we tell ourselves every day, right? So I was coaching someone this week and she's been crushing it and she's so close to a huge promotion goal. And she was doubting herself and it was affecting her ability to take action. So we took some time to stop and look at all of the ways that she had improved herself in the last few months. And the evidence that she had that she knew she could reach the next steps of her goal. And we came up with 5 things that we identified to help her increase her belief in herself. And I asked her to write those down and to read them every day before she picks up the phone and takes action so she can get her mindset in the right place. Belief determines your actions, which determines your results. The second aspect that you have control over is your actions. Many times I find that people know what they should be doing, but they don't do all of the things they should be doing consistently. They try one thing and then they don't get the result that they want. And then they say, oh, well, that doesn't work. Let me try something else. And it's what happens over time, taking action daily and weekly, that leads to the results that you want. Consistency compounds. If you don't feel like you are successful, or if you doubt yourself, you have a choice to act your way into a new feeling. Motions influence emotions. I'm going to say that again. Motions influence emotions. You have control over what you do today. When you take action consistently, you will eventually get positive results, and that's going to increase your belief and your confidence in yourself. Trust the process and trust that the good habits that you've developed will produce the results that you want. So as we wrap up, I want to give you permission to remember the pain that you've experienced this past year and challenge you to look at what you've learned about yourself as you have gone through difficult personal circumstances. How has this past year changed you? What are you doing differently as a result? How can you use what you have learned to help someone else? I also want to challenge you to focus on beliefs and actions to reach your goals. I encourage you to write down the evidence that you have, that you know you can reach your goals this year, and read that evidence daily to get your mindset right before you take action. You will manifest what you believe. I also want to encourage you to write down the top 3 business producing activities or actions that you need to take daily to move you closer to your goal, and choose to do those no matter what every single day. We all have uphill aspirations and downhill habits sometimes, right? So when all is said and done, and when these storms eventually pass, you might not even recognize the person you have become. We grow through what we go through. Thanks.